Hello there, Internet. Sorry, I spaced. You'll get used to that as you watch the channel. Welcome to Table for One. This is my weekly live stream where I play solo board games. Yeah, this is obviously a good pandemic style show, but also it's just nice to carve a little me time out, after a day of work and kiddo and all kinds of fun stuff. So, yeah, welcome. Hopefully you'll stick around and enjoy the show, as it were. Let me just get all the little plugs and such out of the way. Table for One, Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern. Show up. It's a lot of fun. Subscribe to the channel. I'll probably drop that nugget every few minutes just because it helps me grow. It helps the channel grow, lets me know you're watching, and it's all around helpful. So, that being said, there's my spiel. There's a start of it. Okay, yeah. Let's kick this off. I'm playing Role Player tonight. ROLL Role Player tonight. So let's go ahead and switch to our table view and get some tunes on so we can relax and play some games. All right, let me lean off screen here and go to fancy. Okay, so I hadn't really realized that I do this, but for my inaugural play, I will kind of go over it a little bit. I tend to just dive right in once I've played it on the channel once or twice. So if you haven't played Role Player, it's basically building a character for a D&D style game via dice rolls and building it out here. You have a little market where you can buy cards to help you. I am also using the Monsters and Minions expansion, which gives us a monster to fight. I'll go over that as well later. This is the discard pile from the market, because that's how you start the game. This is the Minions, which we'll get to in a minute as well. But yeah, you basically you roll fistfuls of dice, which just appeals to me on so many levels, and you set them up on your character sheet, and then with the Monsters and Minions expansion, once the character sheet is built and you have your character, you then go and fight the main monster. So what I'm doing, what I realized when I decided to play this, and what I did was I was playing Cartographers this weekend, which is in the same world. It's got the same art style. It's really cool looking. Roll and write game. I'll probably review it at some point on the channel. But I was playing Cartographers, and it made me go, hey, I haven't played Role Player in forever, so let's do that on the Table for One. And I then had the realization, which is probably not anything surprising to anyone who plays this game. I was like, oh, it'd be more fun is if I create characters that I know and or care about. So I decided to go ahead and start this off, my inaugural Role Player Table for One session with everyone's favorite warlock, Fjord Stone from the hit online streaming show Critical Role. I'm not going to bother really hyping up Critical Role. If you know D&D, you've heard of it. If you watch Critical Role, then there's nothing I could say that probably isn't just out in a million tweets and Instagram posts and everything. So, just at a very high context for those who don't know it, Fjord is a warlock, a half-orc warlock / paladin. Now, Role Player, at least currently, I don't know if expansions will change this, but Role Player, doesn't give you as much of that option. There's not multi-classing, again, yet that I'm aware of. So we've got here our orc, because, again, I guess half-orc is not enough in the Role Player world. Sorcerer, because the warlock is not an optional class to choose. Maybe it is in the... I don't have the... What is it? Familiars and Fiends, I think, is the name of the third expansion. I don't have that one yet. It's on the list. So, Sorcerer was the closest I could come up with as far as the build. Although Intelligence 18 is a little tricky to get. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess whatever. We're playing fast and loose here. I'm doing the best I can. But that being said, Sorcerer to represent our warlock. I then chose for his alignment. I chose Diplomat because if you've watched Critical Role, Travis, I don't think actively chooses to have that role, but he often seems to be thrust into it due to his charisma score. And then I got Wanderer for his backstory because it, again, was probably the best I could think of with Role Player, although If you've played this game and you have a differing opinion, go ahead and put it in the comments. Ooh, yeah. Put that in the comments. Let me know if I should have picked a different backstory or alignment. Or, if you have or have played the expansion, by all means, pipe up in the comments as well and let me know if it's any good and if it has some of this extra stuff. But anywho, that's that. Let's go ahead and get this started. Got my little play sequence card here. Ooh, yeah, fancy cameras. I got my little cheat sheet over here. Big bag of dice. We'll be using that a lot. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, and I do apologize. First, got the rule books right here. Nice and fancy art on them. I haven't played this in a while, so I'm going to be dusting the rust off for the first couple turns, and then it's my first time doing it solo. So also going to be dusting the rust off of me doing it solo. But since I'm playing by myself, it doesn't matter if I'm a little rusty. So let's get some tunes on before I forget. Boom, courtesy of Harris Heller, Stream Beats. You guys should really check out his little channel about his Stream Beat stuff and what he did. It's really impressive. I need to get a switchboard thingy. I can't remember what they're called now. Switch deck, something like that. Anyways, last little bit of fancy. So, boom, there's our cards. And a boom, there's our play sequence. So you guys can follow along with how this kind of works. It also covers the dice tray nicely, so there's not this weird, freaky effect of double dice rolling. So, the first thing we're going to do to set up our role player, so most of the board is already set up. What I need to do is I need to add a coin via the coin symbol on this 2. So this is the initiative tracker. In the normal game, that's how you determine who gets to go in what order. In this game, solo style, it's going to help determine what the dice do, the bad guy dice, so to speak, when I'm picking my dice. It'll all make sense eventually. So I'm going to discard this card as a trash card. That is, again, because of the solo play, normally you have discarded cards. And then I'm going to flip over 4 cards into our market. These will be cards that I will be able to purchase later on in my turn to try to help me defeat the monsters and such. And I chose the Kraken as my big end game boss because, again, Ukatawa. And if you know Critical Role, I don't have to explain it. Okay, so there's the market all set up. Then let's see. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Draws a random die. Yep, nope. Already did that. I didn't draw randomly. I picked my class and such because, again, I'm having fun doing the trying to make Fjord game. So, beginning with start player, here we go. Each player randomly draws a starting dice. The number of dice each player draws is equal to the number of players plus 4. So that would be 6 dice because the setup is for 2 players for most everything in the solo thing. So what I'm doing right now is I'm getting basically my starting dice. When the game actually gets underway, you'll see kind of what I do with all that crap up there. But this is just to kind of start it off. So I'm going to pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 dice. Ooh, I got a fancy clear dice. That's from the expansion. It adds it doesn't count as a color, but it gives you some really huge numbers, which is helpful depending on the game. Boost dice, that's what they're called. Yeah, they're just higher numbers, but they're transparent 4 colors. So the way the game works, for those who are curious, and you can kind of see this in the bottom, down there, the bottom corner with all the character cards. So the way you score primarily at the end of the game is you're trying to hit your sorcerer, your wanderer, and your diplomat. So you can see on the diplomat, the little card, there's a 3-star, 2 1-stars, and then some negative stars. So at the end of the game, if my little cube is on one of the positive stars, then that's what I'm going to get when I score. For the Wanderer, you can see like there's the strength row and then there's a purple die. So if I have a purple die in that row right there, I will count that when I'm counting up points at the end. So if I have 2 to 3 dice matching their color location, I'll get 1 star. 4 to 5 gives me 3, 6 gives me 6. And then for the class card, it's adding up your numbers in the rows. So if my 3 dice in strength add up to 14 or greater, I will gain 1 star at the end of the game, and so on and so forth. And then, last but not least, the strength, dex, con, all the fun attributes when you're playing your D&D character. When you put a dice into that box, you can do the corresponding action, which I will narrate oh so professionally as I play it. So, but the first thing I do is I start by just rolling some dice to start the game off with. Wow, the clear dice was kind of a waste. That's almost the smallest it could have been. All right, so I need a 14 or better in strength with a purple there. So I'm going to start by putting this here. Now, what these symbols mean next to these is when you put a dice into a slot, you can take the associated symbol. So for strength, which also, again, like with D&D, they do have ability modifiers. So the orc has a +2 naturally and a -2 to intelligence. Obviously, that doesn't track as much anymore now that D&D has kind of gone away from racial ability modifiers. But, you know, we're playing role players, so we'll keep it as it is. But anyways, so if you put a dice into the strength, you can flip it, or any dice in the board, to its opposite. So I can flip this 2 to a 5. If I put a dice into dex, I can, what does that stand for again? I can swap the place of any 2 dice. So I could swap this die for a different one, or 2 dice on the board for each other. If I put a dice into con, I can rotate the dice up or down by 1. You can't wrap around from a 1 to a 6. Intelligence, if I put a dice into intelligence, I get to re-roll it. Or let me rephrase, I get to re-roll any dice. It doesn't have to be that one. Wisdom, when I put that in there, is I get to move my little tracker here on my alignment. Reason why that happens is because if I go here, which can happen, this can move around the card depending on other effects in the game, that will help me get it back to one of the positives. And then charisma, sadly, is a little bit of a dump stat, kind of like in real D&D. What charisma does is when you put a dice in the charisma, it lets you get basically a 1 gold discount when you're buying stuff. It only lasts for the turn. I've never, in all the games that I've played with this, I've never actually used it. I don't really find it to be all that helpful. So it still sadly is a bit of a dump stat even in this game. All right, so I am going to put the strength, I'm going to put purple in strength right here, and then I'm going to choose to use the strength ability to flip it from its 2 to its opposite side of a 5. I will then, I'm going to put, because intelligence I need to be super high, I need to be 18, and I've got a -2, which isn't great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the, let me just see actually. Let me see what the sides are on the boost die. I'm just going to look at the instruction. Instead they go from 3 to 8. So I've got a 6. Actually, that's not terrible. I'll put it here and I will attempt to re-roll it. Oh, that sucked. Okay, 4 it is. And I can't just keep redoing it. I used the 1 power by doing that. Then it goes back to its normal slot. I'm going to need to deal with that later. All right, so I then will... So this is, by the way, if you're looking at the little card in the bottom section, we are on the dice phase. Place the die in the leftmost space of any attribute, gain gold, take associated actions, etc., etc., etc. I am going to... Well, actually, we're not there yet, technically. I'm still starting off with my starting placement. Excuse me, didn't mean to confuse anyone who actually is trying to learn how to play this game by watching me. Apologies if you are. Let's see. I'm going to start with a 4 in charisma. I will start with a 3 in my dex. So the charisma will give me one of those little discounty chits. But again, not really worth it. And I think it goes away anyways because it's a starting turn. Well, technically it's part of the setup, so I'll still have that. So I'll have that going into the market phase of this turn. Okay, I will then put a... I will then put a 2 blue into my dex, which will then let me swap stuff if I want. I think I'm going to ignore that power for now. Actually, no, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put that into my con for now, which will let me up or down a dice by 1. I'm going to up my purple to a 6, because why not? I'm then going to do my strength. I'm going to put that blue 1 there, and then I'm going to flip it using the strength power into a 6. So I'm already at 12, 14. I've already got the strength pretty much maxed out. I'm good to go. So now we actually get into the game. That was still just technically the setup. So I shake my big old bag of dice. Yes, I just realized the euphemism there. Apologies. I then draw 3 of those dice without looking. I'm looking up into the ceiling so you can tell that I'm not cheating. Ooh. And I roll. Okay, so the way you place said dice is you put them in ascending order from left to right. So basically by choosing, because the numbers on the card represent the initiative. So if you're playing a normal game with more than yourself, you would put these in and then like, okay, you could take the first initiative for buying stuff, but you get the lowest die number. It works a little different in solo, so we'll see how that plays out in a minute. I'm going to put the purple 6 on the 3 and the white 6 on the 2, because I'm going for the white 6 because I want the coin and I want a white 6 because that would be good for my constitution if I can get the con number right there. So we'll see. Okay, so now the dice phase. I'm going to pick a die and I'm going to take it and keep it for myself. Now again, there are slightly changed rules. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the number 2 die. So I take that and I get the coin, and technically I take the card just to know that I've done that. Now I get to then roll, I then get to take this 6 and add it to my board, do whatever abilities I want to do. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, the intelligence is still, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to put this into intelligence, and then I'm going to re-roll via that intelligence die my clear one. Wow. That's just dandy. Okay, so that was my roll phase. That was my dice phase, excuse me. Now it's the market phase, and this is where it's slightly different. So first of all, because I chose the 2, if the player selected the 2 initiative card, the player gains the gold and rolls 1 enemy dice. So that's what these little yellow guys up here are the enemy dice. I'm going to roll one of these, and depending on what I roll, something will happen to the market cards. Because in the normal game, it's all about kind of, screwing over your fellow players by taking the stuff they want to buy, which just kind of replicates. So, resolve each die with the following reference. If 4, move the rightmost card in the market to the trash pile. So I will not have the option to buy the open lock skill on my market phase now, which is now the market phase. So I can do one of 3 things. I can buy a card, so I can go shopping in the market to buy one of these cards. I can gain gold by discarding a card, because you have to basically do one of these 3 things. Or I can go on a hunt and battle a minion. And the minion is, I believe, face up, just kind of waiting for me there. Let's see. Yes. Examine the face up. Yep, that's right. So this should have been face up at the start of the game, but it's the start of the game anyway. So I could fight a harpy if I wanted. Oh, bother. So if I decide to go on a hunt, I would fight the harpy. We would see what happens. and go from there. I think I'm going to just buy something from the market to start with. The minions are good for attacks, but it's still not exactly where I want to be at the start of the game, that I can tell. So, as far as fighting, basically what you do is you get combat dice. Yes, this game is all about dice, thus the title, Role Player. You take your combat dice, and you get one just to start with, and then you get +1 for each die in the monster color on your character sheet. Say what? In the monster color? What is the monster color? Oh, excuse me, blue. Haha, the monster, because these are minions. So for every blue dice on my character sheet, I would get 2 extra combat dice. And then if I would get a 1 to 2, I get an experience and I take a wound. If I get a 3 to 8, I get 2 experience. And if I get a 9 or better, I get 3 experience and I get a victory token, which helps me towards the end of the game. And I get a trophy. That's what the little trophy symbol on the card is. Let's see. He's not too difficult, and I would get 3 dice to fight him with. But let me see what my market options are. I could buy Leather Pauldron. This is literally just points at the end of the game. It doesn't actually help me when fighting a monster. Potentially, it could. Maybe there's a monster that gives me bonuses against armor. I could do Protection. Immediately search the discard pile and take 1 armor card. So I could buy that, use it to get an armor out of here, which wouldn't be terrible because then I could buy... Well, no, because I can only buy 1 thing at a time. Obnoxious as a trait. Gain 2 stars for each attribute row with 3 of the same colored dice. Well, that's already not really in the card, so I'm definitely not buying this one. Protection. Search this card, take an armor card or Leather Pauldron. +1 for each set if worn by purple or black classes. It's all about, kind of what the synergy is here. Honestly, I don't like any of those cards. I've got a decent amount of gold, so I don't really want to sell them, so I'm actually going to go on a hunt. Also because, why not? It's fun to hunt. All right, so I get 1 combat die for just fighting, and then I get +1 for each die in the monster's color on my sheet. So I've got 2 blues matching the blue kraken, so I get 2 more. I then get to roll these 3 dice, and if I do well enough, I get stuff. Oh, I definitely rolled well enough. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh, the dice cam is working. All right, so I got 11, 14 for fighting the harpy. So I gain 3 experience. Open the little bag. Fun little clear QBs. I gain 3 experience, which can be used to buy dice and stuff. I gain 1 of these little crowns. And then I gain a trophy, which I take the card. The reward level doesn't have the trophy. If it does, place the minion card near the character sheet as a trophy. I'll just put him down here. Oh yeah, you can still see him. There we go. I defeated the harpy. For my first trophy, I get to flip over the first monster adventure card. So, at the end of all of this, once I've built my character, I'm going to fight the Kraken. I can potentially get advantages for fighting the Kraken by going on these adventures to figure out what happens. You do that by killing a minion and killing it well enough to get its trophy symbol. What that will let me do is I can learn the location and then the obstacle and then the attack of the Kraken, which just fundamentally just helps me when I roll my combat dice at the end of the game. So, normally, playing multiplayer, you get to look at the card and then hide it back face down, and then you get to put like a little chit on your sheet knowing like, hey, I know it, but the other players don't. Haha. Since it's just me, I'm just going to flip it open. So, Black Sea is the location of the Kraken. All players with 4 or fewer dice of their class color on their character sheet gain 1 combat die. There it is right there. You can take a quick screen grab of it if you want. So 4 or fewer of their character class on their character sheet gain it. So I will gain an extra combat die if I have 4 or less blue dice on my character sheet at the end of the game. So that's good to know. And that was my market phase. So now it becomes cleanup. This goes back up here, and it will gain a gold on it for the next time. These dice will go back in the bag. Let me move my combat dice away so I don't confusedly put those into the dice bag. These will all get discarded, I believe. Let me just double check they're not trashed. Slight variations when you... Yeah. The cleanup phase is the same as in the base game with one exception. Keep 2 enemy dice set aside for future turns instead of 1. Okay, well that doesn't really help me at all. Let's see if the cleanup is different over here. This phase occurs the same way as multiplayer, but keep the enemy dice. Yeah, so basically cleanup is normal. I just get rid of the cards. They go to the discard. And thus why there's a trash pile and a discard pile, because if I buy a card that lets me search the discard, those don't qualify. But that is that. That's the turn. All right. Consider the rust knocked off, and let's do this. Let's dive in deep again. Okay, so roll phase. I'm going to shuffle, sort of. Oh, hold on. What's the next minion on deck? It is a wormling. Cute. +1 combat die for each attribute goal you've met. My attributes being, my attributes. So I've met the strength one, so I would get 1 combat die. But he's a tricky one. He's got 2 dots. You might not be able to see it that far away, but he's got 2 dots in the corner, meaning he is a slightly tougher minion. Okay, so I do I guess it's technically an alternate rule where normally it's like you put the 2 dots on the bottom and then the 1 dot's on top, and so you kind of like work your way down. I like doing the make it harder for yourself, so like all the 1 and 2 dots are just randomly mixed for the market and for the minions. I don't know, I just think it's a better challenge overall. So let's draw 3 dice. 1, 2, 3. Roll them. All right, we got a 2, a 3, and a 5. So the 2 goes there, the 3 goes there, and the 5 goes there. Okay, so if I put a 5 into that would become 6, 11, 11 and 4 is 15, minus 2 is 13. I really need to re-roll that clear die. All right, I think I'll do that. I think I'll give, yeah. I'm going to buy the 3. Oh, whoops. Gotta refill the market. Yes, I have the role player playmat. It is very handy for making your game nice and set up, and it just looks really nice. Let me adjust and bump the table and all that jazz. All right, so I'm going to take the 3. That was a 5 black. I'm going to place it. Let me just do the enemy roll first before I forget. That's what those gold dice up at the top are. Technically, those are the enemy dice. If the player selected the 3 initiative card, which I did, the player rolls both enemy dice. If I roll doubles, I pick one and re-roll it. All right, so a 1 and a 5. If a 1, move the leftmost card in the market to the trash pile. Goodbye, Sling. If a 5 or 6, move the top card from the minion deck to the bottom of the deck, reveal the next minion, place it on top. I'm actually okay with that because the Wormling was kind of difficult. So I'm going to flip him over to the bottom and flip it over. And, oh, look, it's a goblin. I'm much happier fighting a goblin than a Wormling. Okay, so I think I messed with the market phase. Buy a card from the remaining cards in the market, discard a card, or go on a hunt. Then move the leftmost card in the market to the discard, move any remaining to the trash. So technically, obnoxious, and this rule is obnoxious, ha 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 ha. Obnoxious went to the discard, these 2 went to the trash. Okay. So that was the enemy dice, the 1 and the 5. That got rid of that one and gave me a new minion, which again, I'm perfectly fine with a new minion. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put the 5 into my intelligence, re-roll this clear one, and hope that I can roll something better. I'm not going to say different. I'm going to say better. Hopefully roll something better than a 4. Wow. That boost dice is really just sticking it to me. Because right now I'm sitting on a 16, minus 2 is a 14. All right, well, that is some, let's see, if I do the 5, could become a 6. Oh, that's even more terrible. All right, well, we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. Okay. So, that sucked. Okay, let's go to the market phase. Do I want ambitious, dispel, or banish? Let's see. Dispel. Immediately gain 3 gold for each skill you have. Nope. Immediately gain 2 gold for each minion trophy you have. It's not bad. Ambitious. Gain a star for each of your attribute rows with an attribute score of 18 or more. I mean, that's not bad, but I mean, I've got one that's going to be like that. It's too early. Well, so let's look at this. I can't have my dex, my con, or my charisma be an 18. So that already negates 3 of those because those have very specific ranges I have to hit. So you know what? I am not going to do any of those. I'm not going to sell my, I'm not going to sell a card because I got plenty of gold. Plus, I can fight the goblin very easily. So I'm going to actually say screw it to all of those. I'm going to go on another hunt. So I am going to grab some hunt dice. I'm going to take 1 just because. Then I gain 1 for every 3 gold I have, and I've got 6, so I get 2 more. And I just need a 9 or better. Big money, big money. Oh, my useless, as I mentioned, charisma token goes away. Again, charisma is the dump stat, even in role player. Boom. Oh, wow. Actually, I barely hit that. That is 9 total, is just enough to beat the goblins. So he's going to go to my trophy pile. I'm going to gain 2 more experience. I love these little cubes. Any game that has the little clear plastic cubies, just my favorite. I love playing Pandemic solely because it's got all the little clear plastic cubes. There's 2 more XP. So we got 5 XP total. And I gained 2 gold for beating the goblin. I need to get a proper gaming table or make one. I turned a coffee table into a gamer table. It's just not as big as I want. Which, I mean, granted, no game table's ever truly big enough. And then I got a trophy, so I get to find out the obstacle in my way of fighting the Kraken. Crew mutiny. All players with their tracking token on the 3-star space of their alignment card gain 2 combat dice. So I'll just hold that there. Yeah, look at that. Crew mutiny. Lower down. Yeah, there we go. So basically, if this cube is in the 3-star on my card, when I go to fight the monster, I'm going to gain 2 extra combat dice. Good to know. Okay, so now I will discard that. I will trash these. This goes back up here. These go back in the bag. The combat dice can go over here. And, oh, let's flip the minion card over. Ooh, it's a bugbear. It's a bugbear. That is that. All right, so now we'll prep for the next turn. Let's get the market set up. Chain tunic, chain helm. Thought I'd shuffle these, but apparently I didn't shuffle them well enough. Honorable and quarterstaff. Okay, let's roll some dice and see what happens. Let's take this one and this one and this one. Okay. Oh, got a gold die finally. So the gold dice doesn't match any of the stuff on the cards, but you gain a gold when you place it. So, technically you also gain a gold when you place a die in the last column. That's why it's ringed in gold on the character card. So I technically was supposed to take a gold for getting my intelligence up to the max. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, my con needs to be a 15 or a 16. I'm going to put the gold 5 there. So that gives me a gold for placing the die. And then, the con lets me put something up, 1 or down. I'm going to move this one down to a 4, because then I have 1 strength left that lets me do that opposite flip thing. So if I can get this to its lowest, I can then flip it up to a 9, which honestly may or may not be enough even with that, but we'll see. Actually, I need to hold on a second. I'm probably still going to do that. I just need to double check my math, because that one is very specific. I have to have an 18 exactly in intelligence. So if I'm sitting on an 11 right now, I need to get, so 18 means I need to hit a 20 because I have -2 and 2 intelligence. So if I get that to a 9 plus 11, so yeah, I need to get that to a 9, so that's fine. So I'm going to put that where I did, gain my gold, put this down to a 4. Yes, I'm not going to lie, some of my enjoyment, some of my love of this game is that I'm a math nerd. So let's see how Fjord is shaping up. I was going to try to cheekily, say, oh, haha, he has a high charisma, I'm going to build his charisma up. But if I tried to actually do that, I won't, do very well in the game. So it's going to be Fjord adjacent. Let's put it that way. Oh, wait a minute. Pfft, I'm an idiot. Hold on. I'm jumping the gun. Doot, doot, doot. I will take this. I'll take this. I will bring this down. I will then do what I just did, because I'm jumping ahead of myself. I was so excited to get the gold die. Because I put the 2, I roll 1 of the enemy cards. Dice. 2 says I move the second card in the market to the trash pile. So that's that. Okay. There we go. I'm not cheating. And even if I were, it wouldn't matter because I'm playing by myself. Yeah, Fjord. What's up, Joe? What's up, Boston Joey? All right. So I trashed the chain helm as part of my market. Placed the con. I adjusted the die. Okay. Now I'm going to... Again, I clearly don't need the gold, so I'm not going to sell any of the cards. Chain Tunic doesn't help me a ton, points-wise. Honorable just gives me 3 stars, which is not bad. Quarterstaff. When completing an attribute row, gain 2 additional gold. Okay, I really don't care about that either. I will go ahead and buy the Honorable trait for 7. So, now that I've actually bought something, you guys can see how this works. I'm going to spend my 7 gold. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Excuse me. It is a trait, so it will go down here. When you buy a trait, ooh, fancy. When you buy a trait, it's got a little arrow symbol. You have to move your alignment cube that direction. So I go from my 3 points down to -1. So this is where the wisdom action comes into play. But that is my turn. So now that's the end of the market. I will go ahead and discard that one, and I will trash that one. Right? Discard then trash. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. That goes back up there. These come out and go back into the bag. These replenish. The minion stays where it is because I haven't killed it yet. Ooh, stone skin. And a warhammer. Okay, so now, what do we do? We go to our roll phase. I'm going to take 3 cards. 3 cards, 3 dice. 3 dice. 3 darts is too much. I got my little cheat cards over here, by the way, as far as spending XP and or gold. Okay, so the 1 goes there, the 4 goes there, and the 6 goes there. And there's a little gold token on the 2. So, what do I want to build my character sheet out with? I don't know if you've actually ever played this before, Joe, but it is a lot of fun, I think. So we'll have to do this the next time we're able to get together. Yay, vaccines! Booyah! Let's see. Pickpocket, Fearless, Stone Skin, Warhammer. When resolving the obstacle card, gain double the benefit. So I would gain 2 combat dice if I end up with this in the middle. That would give me 4 combat dice instead, which is pretty huge. Stone Skin. Immediately lose gold equal to double the current position of the tracking token. I don't need gold. Fearless is just 4 stars. And Pickpocket. Decrease the value of 1 die on your character sheet by 1 to gain 2 gold. That's not bad. I'm not going to lie. That's not bad. But the Warhammer is arguably better when it comes time to fight the Kraken. Yes, Joe, I am fighting the Kraken because that is the closest I can get to an Ukatoa analogy. But first I have to buy my die. I'm jumping all over the place because I want to get my stuff. Okay. First I have to choose. I'm going to choose I need a blue here in Dex, and I need my Dex to be a 16 or 17. So I'll go ahead and take the 3 with the 6 on it, which means I roll both of these dice. 1 and a 5 again. I got that the last time I rolled 2. So this gets trashed, which I don't care about. And then I pop the bugbear on the bottom of the minion deck, and instead I can fight a giant scorpion. Not too bad, all things considered. I'm going to put the 6 into my Dex, which lets me swap dice. Do I want to swap dice for anything? I got a blue and a purple there, which I want. I need a red there, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. So, con needs to be 15 or 16. I think I'm going to actually skip the power of the Dex placement right now. Yeah. Yes, I will. And then for my market phase, I'm going to buy the Warhammer. There's 3 gold. Come to me. It's got the 2 little hand symbols, so it's the only weapon I can hold, which is fine. Yeah, I think I'm done. Yes. So this goes to the discard. This goes to the trash. This goes back up here. These go back into the bag. These go up here. Yeah, I think that's it. What do we got? Mesmerize. Sounds fun. Steadfast. Trustworthy. And nimble. Well, I'd love to be able to buy the Steadfast or the Trustworthy if I was actually trying to build Fjord. But again, I'm just trying to win right now. Let's see. I'm going to roll the dice. Yes. Let's roll the dice. Wow. Okay. The 5 gold, and then I do need a green, and Con needs a white. I'm going to do green and white. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So that was the roll phase. Got all that set up. Dice. I am going to I'm going to take the 6 white. Yes, if I put that into Con, that gives me the white for Wanderer. That gives me 11, 12, 13. That's relatively easy to fix. So yeah, I'm going to take this one, which gives me the gold. I'm going to roll 1 of these dice because I took the middle one. And a 4. Move the rightmost card in the market to the trash pile. Again, I'm fine with that. I wasn't going to buy it anyways. All right, now I'm going to take the white 6 and put it into my Con. I gain a gold for filling up that row. Boop. I will then, I can increase or decrease a die by 1. I'm going to lower this 4 down to a 3, which is where I need it to accomplish what I'm trying to do. And then I will put this back here so I don't confuse myself. So that's the dice phase. Now it's the market phase. Do I buy something? Do I fight them? Let's see. Giant Scorpion, +1 combat die for each red die on your character sheet. I have none, so I will right now not be able to. I'll have 1 die. I can buy a die for XP or for gold. Every 8 gold has at the end of the game, I get an extra star. So I don't think XP does me any good at the end of the game. So maybe I'll buy some XP dice. I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm not going to fight him. I think I will recolumn that has, wow, trustworthy is hard. Oh, and I can't buy those either because my token's already at the top. So those two are out. So I could buy mesmerize or I could just sell a card. Immediately gain gold equal to the face value of the die in the first position of your charisma attribute row. That's kind of garbage. I'm just going to sell mesmerize to the discard to gain 2 gold. This will then, so now we're on cleanup. This will get discarded and this will get trashed. These go back in the bag. This goes back up here. La la la. Throw a coin on it for good luck. And then what shall we do? We shall refresh the market. Unholy flail. Ooh. Knowledge. Disguise. Tremor. Fancy. Okay. Let's dig out some dice. Get this to the bottom of the bag. I need some reds. Oh, there's 2. And last but not least, yeah, I was bound to start drawing some reds eventually. After buying a trait card, you may take an intelligence attribute action. Oh, I should have remembered that for that. Oh well. Oof, oof. That is delectable. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So I want that into my intelligence. And if I do dex, that lets me do that. Okay, perfect. I'm taking this one. I am rolling a yellow die. 4 is, which one is that again? Rightmost to the trash, so goodbye tremor. Now I'm going to put this up here so I don't get confused. Take my coin. I'm going to put the 6 red into my dex, which lets me swap dice positions. So I'm going to take the 6 from my dex. Ooh, that's tricky actually. No, it'll still work. I can still make that work, I think. Yeah, I'm going to take the 6 from my dex and swap it with the 5 from my intelligence. So I still get the gold for placing a die in that final row. Now I can't activate anything. The activation was the dex. So now this is 12 plus 3 is math. I think I messed myself up a little bit. I'm gonna have to tweak that one a little bit, but it's not too bad. Okay, I can still make this work. My dex needs to be a 16 or 17. It is currently a 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'm close on getting my dex where I need it to be for the sorcerer. But that was my dice placement. Go ahead and throw that back up there. Now it's the market. Do I fight the scorpion, which would be 2 dice plus whatever I want to spend here, or unholy flail plus 1 combat die to any combat roll against a minion or the monster? That might actually be worth it. Knowledge, increase or decrease the face value of a die in your character sheet by 1 or 2. That is a nice skill to have. And moves it to the left, which isn't terrible. Disguise. Before the dice phase, exchange one of your trait cards with 1 trait in the market. That sucks. I think I'm going to have to buy the Unholy Flail. That's pretty good. Let me just... excuse me. Let me confirm the whole weapon hand thingy. More than 2 hands weapon. Anytime a player may discard a weapon from their market discard one player to bind it with one. I'd have to get rid of the one to get the other. Thought I could just like store it. So this will double that, but it's only if I get that, whereas that is a guaranteed +1 combat die. I don't know. It's also just, it feels like a waste of gold, but you know what? Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to discard that so I can buy that for 5 gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that will be my market phase. I'm just seeing... Yeah, no. I was hoping maybe I get a discount for selling the other item. Doesn't work that way. Okay. Let's get rid of knowledge. Let's get rid of disguise. Let's get rid of these dice. Okay. Oh, I got another boost dice. All right, so I'm going to put the boost dice in the middle in case I want it. 6 white can go there. Market. Valiant. Ooh, that's cool looking. Backpack. Spiked club. Thieves tools. Okay. Let's see. What do I want to buy? Because that'll dictate which card and which dice I take. Thank you, Joe. Go Fjord. Thanks for tuning in briefly. Let's see. During the cleanup phase, refresh all your skills. I don't have any, so that doesn't help me right now. When any player discards a card from the market, gain an XP. It's not bad. Instead of placing a die on your character sheet, you may keep it on this card. Max 4. Place it at any time during the character creation phase. I mean, that's not bad. Gain a star for every 2 minion trophies you have, but I can't buy it because my thing's in the way. So, I might just fight the scorpion now that I have the unholy flail to help me. I will take the... I'm going to take the boost die. Oh, which should have had a gold coin on it, so I'll just give myself one of those. I will roll this before I forget. 3, move the third card in the market to the trash pile. So the spiked club is gone anyways. I will then take this and put it here, which gives me a gold. I can then flip a die. So I'm going to flip this 3 over to the 9. Wait, right? Hold on. 3 goes to the opposite side, which is, yeah, that one. Is that 9 or is that 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, I thought this was a 9er. No, 3 to 8. Oh, wait. So actually, I would have messed myself up otherwise if I hadn't done it. That's perfect. Because that's 3, 6, 7, 8 plus 12 is 20. Minus 2 is the 18 I need for my intelligence. So that works out well. So I got 14 plus here. Easy enough. Dex, I've got 11, 12, 13, 14. I need to get that up a little bit. Con, I've got 11, 12, 13. I need to get that up. I haven't even started on my wisdom and my charisma yet. So, okay. That's not great. I'm going to fight the scorpion now that I have a little bit extra help here. So, I have 1 combat die, just because. I get 1 for each red die, and I get 1 because of my unholy flail. I need a 10 or better to truly kill the giant scorpion. I'm not going to buy any, so you can buy extra combat dice via XP points or gold, but I am not going to do that just yet. So let's see what happens. Oh, and I didn't need to. The combat dice are treating me real good tonight. Okay, so I just killed the giant scorpion, which gives me 3 more XP. One, 2, 3. It gives me 1 more of these little tokeny things. I'll remember what those do later. I think they're for fighting the monster. And then I will gain the last trophy, the attack. All players who met their strength attribute goal gain 3 combat dice. So that is super helpful. That will be, yeah, that's going to be at least 3 combat dice for me. Perfect. All right, so let's clean up. Let's do our cleanup phase. Discard. Trash. Combat dice go over here. Knocking the rust off. I'm remembering how to play. Dire Wolf. All purples. My favorite color. Oh, wow, and almost all 5s. That's kind of cool. Okay, so those go there. The market gets refilled. All right, so I don't need purples as far as color placement. What do I need? I need 14 plus on wisdom, and I need 14 to 15 on charisma. I will take the 5-2, which should have a gold on it, but whatever, I keep forgetting. And I got a little stack over here anyway, so there's a gold for me. I will then put this, actually, hold on. I took the 2, so I'm going to roll 5 to 6. Instead of a dire wolf, I now have the potential to fight the cultist. Okie dokie. Okie dokie artichoke. Let's see. Let's see what we're going to see. I will put that into my... Oh, that was a 5. I'm not cheating, I swear. I will put that into my wisdom, which lets me move this. I'm going to move it down to the 3-star. And then I will... Yes, that's that. I will now market phase. Realign. Immediately take up to 2 wisdom attribute actions. Well, I don't care about that because my wisdom's where I want it. Or my alignment, as it were. Obsessed. Gain an additional star for every 2 dice in your class colors. So that would be 1 star, possibly 2. Steel net. After a hunt, always take the minion card as a trophy. Ooh, I mean, that's nice, but... So if I get... let me just double check, because once I've revealed everything, I think every trophy afterwards is just extra gold, maybe? What is that? Going on a hunt. If the player already has 3 adventure tokens, which is the trophies, they gain 1 XP instead. Ooh, XP though. That's not bad. If I get the steel net. And then disarm traps. Spend 1 XP to increase the face value of 1 die on your character sheet by 1. I mean, that's helpful. I'll need that. Actually, I might have to do that. Let's see. Cultist. Plus 1 combat die for each trait card you have. So that would be 3 combat dice overall. You know what? I'm going to buy for 3 gold as my action, as my market action. I'm going to buy the disarm trap skill. So that goes here. So I'm going to, so my strength is filled. I need to fill the rest of my dex and my con. So I'm going to use my disarm trap. It lets me move. I have to move my trait up 1. So for anyone following along at home and wants to know how this actually works, you have to move your little thing up, so that's why I took it from the middle. I moved it up. Then I can spend an XP, and you turn this sideways to know you've used it. I can spend an XP, which I will, to up the value of 1 die. So I'm going to pop that one up to a 4. And that puts me at 15 for my dex. 1 more to go, and I get that. And then I think, yep, that's that. So this will go up here. These 2 will go in the bag. Discard and trash. I think I refreshed my skill. That's the only thing I need to remind myself of on cleanup. I think it's at the end. You get to refresh 1 of your skills. Refresh 1 exhausted skill. Yep, so this goes back up. I can't use it again because I still need to be able to move my alignment token up. So, yes, for now, not so much, but it's there. It's there eventually. Okay, so let's roll some dice, and we shall see what we shall see. Oof. All right, well, purple, green, black. 1, 1, 6. Put the coin on just because I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna take the. Actually, hold on, because I need that to be a black. 14, 15. It's a 1, which sucks, but I can spend XP, which I've got a decent amount of to do the other things. So that would be 6 and 10. That would be tricky. Actually, I'm going to do that. Boop. I'm going to put the black 1. Meow. I'm going to then take this. Oh, whoops. Let's go ahead and leather gloves. Reckless. selfish, compassionate. Okay. I'm going to roll a die. I got a 1, so I'm going to trash the leather gloves, which I'm fine with. Let's put that back up there. I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it into my charisma. I get the coin from that. Probably forgot to give myself a coin, but who knows. I technically get the little discount token, although, again, I don't really use those. I'm going to spend 5 XP to take any attribute action. So I'm going to spend 5 XP. I'm going to take my strength attribute to flip the 1 that I placed into a 6. So now all I need is a 1 in that last spot, which is theoretically easy enough to get. Okay, so that was all of my dicing and rolling and such. Now, I can't afford reckless. I can't afford anything. Let's see. I could fight the cultist with 3 dice. I need a 10 or better. I'll fight the cultist because I want the XP. Oops. 1 dice just because. 1 for having 1 trait card. 1 for the unholy flail. Uh, 8, 9. All right, I'm going to spend an XP to re-roll one of those combat dice. That was technically a 3. So it's 13, which is enough to beat the cultist. So I'm going to gain 2 XP. Back there. He is my trophy, which will gain me another XP. Because I already filled out my 3 trophies. He'll give me 3 gold just for having beat said cultist. Oh, dropping crap on the floor. Hold on, coin down. All right, 3 coins. I got my 2 XP, got my 3 coins. Trophy was the extra XP. So that's all set. I have killed the cultist. He is replaced by the ogre. Discard. Trash. You are trash. Compassionate. Dice go away. Gold on the card. Okay. Let's draw some more dice, shall we? Haha! Okay. What do we got? We got a 1. We got a 4. And we got a 6. And in our market, we've got a heavy crossbow. A longsword. Cure wounds. Ooh, fancy. Foolish. See, what I need, ideally, is I need a skill that goes up and a skill that goes down, so I can just kind of swap them back and forth. Increase the face value of 1 die of your class color on your character sheet by 1. That's helpful. I can manipulate my blues with Cure Wounds. Foolish. Gain 2 stars if either your intelligence or wisdom is 8 or less. Well, that doesn't help me. Ogre is, I need armor cards to be able to beat him, or to get extra combat dice towards beating him, so that's not great. Longsword. When scoring attribute goals, +1 value to all dice of your class colors. So that would make this one, that's fine for that still. What is this? 10 and 5 is 15. Oh, and I actually need that to be 16, so that helps. And then that will help my con as well. So I'm going to buy the longsword for my... Oh, I haven't actually picked which die I'm going to use yet. Haha, I keep jumping the gun. Let's see. I need the 1 in charisma to equal the 14 to 15 that I need. So I'm actually just going to take this, so I don't roll any of those. I'm going to pop this down here, which gives me a gold. It gives me the discount that I didn't use last time. I will end up using it this time, though. So -1, or 1 gold, +2 equals the 3 I need to buy the longsword, which I can have because it's another single-hand weapon. Yeah, there you go. You can still see that, sort of. Yeah, I think that's it. Let me check. That gets me where I want to be for that. That's going to make that one score because that becomes 16 because that technically becomes a +1. That's fine as it is. I need to jack that one up a little bit, which will then help me get to the, let's see where I'm at. 11, 12, 13, 14. So I just need to get that up by 1. That's reasonably easy to do. Okay. I got the gold for putting the die in the thing, right? Yes, I did. All right, trash. Or excuse me, discard. Trash. That goes up here. These go back in the bag. So far, so good. I will say, you usually don't do this good when you're playing multiplayer because people take the dice you want and kind of screw you around. All right, what do we got? Ooh, we got 4, 6, and 7 because it's a boost die. All right, so wisdom I need to be a 14 plus. So I think I might actually take the boost die. Let's do that. Yeah. I'm going to take this one. Oh, after I refill the market. Let's see. Technically, I can spend gold to get rid of this monster if I want, which I might do. We'll see. Okay, so now I took this die, so I need to take these and roll them. Oop, that's actually what I wanted to roll. So if a 2, move the second card in the market to the trash pile. And then a 5 lets me move the top card of the minion deck. So the ogre goes, which is fine because he was a pain in the butt anyways. And now we've got Skeletal Rider. Oh, see, that's perfect. +1 combat die for each boost die on your character sheet. I've got a ton of boost dice on my character sheet, so that's going to be super helpful. I'm super glad that I did that. So let's take this and put it into my wisdom, which lets me move this back down. I'm then going to, yep, so this will then be discarded and these will be trashed. Now I'm going to fight. Technically, I should have done that after fighting, but it's fine because I knew I was going to fight the Skeletal Rider. And I'm playing by myself, as I like to point out, so I can do whatever the hell I want. All right, Skeletal Rider. 1 die just cuz. +1 for each boost dice, so that's going to be 3 more. Let me get my combat die baggie. Combat die baggie. So 3 more because I have the boost dice. 1 for my unholy flail. Kind of bummed. Usually when I'm doing these Wednesday Table for One sessions, I'm always kind of like, hey guys, there's going to be a new movie coming out or this or that. And it's like, there's not much. Falcon Winter Soldier's done and was excellent, by the way, if you hadn't watched it. You know, there's no Marvel stuff to look forward to. I got Critical Role, you know, ironically enough, although I'm super far behind on that. Me and the missus are trying to catch up. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess, well, no, let's be honest. I'm super excited that vaccines have happened in all of the immediate family other than my son, because he's too little. So I might actually be able to play in-person games with my brother and my mom pretty soon. So that's exciting. Wow, more exciting than the roll I just got. I needed 11 or above, and I got 3, 6, 8, 9, 10. Jeez. Cheese and crackers. Well, it's definitely worth it. I'm going to spend the 1 XP, because if I kill it, I get 3. I'm going to re-roll this 1. Really? I'm going to spend another XP. I'm not going to swear. It's not a channel for children, but I also am trying to not be completely offensive. All right. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got exactly what I needed to kill the Skeletal Rider. So, I gain a trophy, but they're already done, so I gain an XP for it. I then get one of the little +1 crown thingies, which again is either points or combat dice at the end. I honestly can't remember. I'll find out when we get to the end. And then I gain 3 XP just for having defeated said Skeletal Rider. Yeah, Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. I like that. Okay. So the boost dice go away. Or not boost, combat. Combat dice go away. I will flip this over to see it is a bandit. +1 combat die for each weapon card you have. Nice. That is super helpful. Okay. I'm going to use my disarm trap. Move this up. Spend 1 XP to increase the face value of one of your character dice by 1. So I'm going to increase my con from a 2 to a 3. The longsword gives me a +1 of this, so that would be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 because of the longsword. So that's exactly where I need it to be. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. That is fine. This one just needs to be above a 14, which it should be able to do. And then that'll let me move that back down here. Ooh, this is gonna go well, maybe. I'm going to ready that as part of the cleanup phase. Get rid of these dice back into the bag. I'm gonna refill the market. Mystic robes, greedy, cunning, and the jeweled dagger. Okay, so I've refreshed. That's all done. That's all done. This is all done. Okay, yes. Time to draw dice out of the bag. Okay, not bad. Not bad. I can work with this. 3, 2, 6. Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. Okay. Wayne, okay? Okay, Wayne? Letterkenny. You gotta watch it if you haven't. It's awesome. Non sequitur brought to you by the fact that I'm thirsty. Okay then. Let's see. I'm going to... So wisdom, I just need it to be 2 or better. So it doesn't matter which of those I take. But I need it to be green. So that actually... I almost lost track of the color. Yeah, so I'm taking the green. That'll give me the wisdom that I need and the color that I need. Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. I'm going to take this, which means I roll both of these. 5 and a 6. Oh, wait. If I double, which this is, the effect is technically double, so I'm going to re-roll this one. 3. Okay. So 3 is the third card, goes to the trash pile. The 6 is I get rid of the bandit and instead have the option to fight a giant spider. +1 combat die for each skill card you have. Okay. All right. So that was the bad guy dice. I get the wisdom, which gives me a gold. Lets me move this, so I'm going to move this back down to its 3. Yeah, that lines up the character sheet quite nicely. So I have one more market phase, which is either buying something or killing a monster or selling something. And then a fight of the big boss. I'm knocking the table around. All right, it hasn't gone off camera. That's all that matters. Okay, let's see. So I am going to... let's see. I can buy a combat die for 5 gold or 3 XP. I'm just checking my math here. That's 11, 12, 13, 14, plus 1 becomes 15. So yeah, so that's fine. Okay. That's 12 plus 8 is 20 minus 2. Yep, that's fine too. Okay, so if I buy the mystic robes, ooh, that would give me 1 star, but then plus 1 star for the set if worn by green or blue. So greedy, gain a star for every 4 gold you have, but then I don't have any gold if I spend it. When scoring attribute goals, +1 value to all gold dice. So none of the cards really help me out here. I will probably just fight the giant spider to get some more XP. Because again, XP doesn't help me, but it does let me buy more dice. Because the higher I roll, the more likely I am to kill the Kraken. So I will fight the giant spider. So let's go ahead and get some dice. 1. Combat die for each skill card would be 2. I have 1. And then I get the Unholy Flail. It's another 1. And then... what do I need? I need at least an 8 to a 10. I'll just keep the 3. Oh, there it is. I got a 10. I got a 10 exactly, so that's fine. So I will kill the giant spider, which gives me a trophy, which means an extra XP, and then I get 2 XP as well, just for having killed it. Flip that over. It would have been a displacer. I love how they just call it the displacer, but it's clearly a displacer beast. I don't exactly know what the legalities of all that were, but I like it. Displacer beast is one of the cooler monsters from the monster manual. This goes here, and these go here. Not that it matters, because now we're into the end game. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. The end character creation, create dice pools, and monster combat steps are all the same as the multiplayer game. The resolve adventure card step is not impacted because none of these are specific to one-player versions. So, once all players have 18 dice on their sheet, the round is finished. Last opportunity to spend XP to take attribute actions or discard injury tokens. I don't have injury tokens, and I don't need to take attribute actions because all of my stuff is exactly where I need it to be. Create dice pools. Each player creates an individual dice pool for their character's combat with the monster by gaining 1 combat dice from the supply. So, I will take 1 combat die from the supply. Boop. I will then resolve adventure cards. All players with 4 or fewer dice of their class color on their character sheet gain a combat die. Well, I have 3 of my class colors, so I will gain a combat die for that. All players with their tracking token on the 3-star space gain 2 combat die, which it is. So that is 2 more combat die for me. Swallowed. All players who've met their strength attribute goal gain 3 combat die, which I met my strength goal, so 3 more combat die. Then I gain 1 combat die for my Unholy Flail, and I think that's it. Now I can buy combat dice for gold or for XP, but let's see. For every 8 gold the player has at the end of the game, I get an additional star. Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not enough. So I can spend 5 of those gold, since they don't really help me out, to gain a combat die. And the point of this is I have to roll my dice, and then I've got to get above a 20, because that's his health. So he has a health of 20, and I'll just move him over here since we're in the end game for now. Let's see. Line it up. There we go. You guys can see what I'm talking about. So he's got a health of 20, so I have to hit at least a 20. If I do, then I win the game, and it's a matter of counting up my stars to see how well I won the game. If I don't beat the 20, then I just lose flat out, which, you know, is not great given all the work I did to do the combat. The player just loses the game flat out. Okay, so I don't want to lose the game flat out. I would like to win and win it, you know, handily. So, oh, that was the other thing. I got to check what these little king tokens do because I haven't, you know. Honor, injury. When a character does exceedingly well, they often receive honor or injury, which add to or subtract from the player's combat roll during monster combat at the end of the game. Okay, so I'm going to get +3 added to whatever I end up rolling. All right, so I've got 3, 6, 9 combat dice. And so I can buy a combat die for 3 XP. And I've got 6, 7, I've got 8 XP. So and then XP can also be used to re-roll a combat die. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 6 of my XP to get 2 more combat dice. And what that will then let me do is save 2 of my XP to re-roll 2 of my dice. So I'm going to take the Kraken card and put him back where he goes. Now that you guys have had a chance to see, I'm going to roll a crap ton of combat dice, and we'll see what happens. La 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 la. La la. Go. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure I hit 20, so that's good. That was a 5. I don't think I tipped that, but if I did, whatever, it's my game. Might have been a 3. You know what? No, I'll leave it as a 5. Because again, it's my game, I don't care. Let's see. So I get a 1 or 2, and I have 2 XP, so I will just re-roll both of those. Let's move these down so they don't get kerplopped. All right, well, that's overall better, and that's what matters. So let's go ahead, and I'll zoom in, so to speak, on the Kraken die. Cracking again. So I got 6 and 4 is 10. 6 and 4 is 20, so I definitely beat the Kraken. Now let's see how well I did. There's another 10 is 30. Another 10 is 40. So I maxed out the Kraken. 36 plus. So, good to know. Now, we do final scoring to see where we're at. And I will show you. Boop, there's the little scorecard right there. So, let's add up some points. Final scoring for the monsters and minions is... Let me show you this little table right here. Ooh, that's a lot of glare. All right, well... Needless to say, less than 23, I'm considered an NPC, which is just insulting. So let's hopefully not get that low. So take my little class doohickey here, and we put it on the card as we go. So it's hard to see, but down here there's a little scoring track that just kind of walks you through like what the scores are when you do them. Attribute goals, that's these up here. Did I hit my attribute goals for the sorcerer? 14 plus on the strength. Very clearly hit that, so that is 1 star. Dex 16 to 17. 6 and 5 is 11, and 4 is 15, plus 1 because of my long sword. That basically makes that a 7. So that becomes 16 even. So I get 2 stars for that. Puts me up to 3. Con is a 11, 12, 13, 14, plus 1 from the longsword becomes 15. So that hits my con, which is another 2, putting me at 5 points. Intelligence, I just barely managed to hit the 18, even with the -2 for being an orc. So that is 4 more stars, putting me at 9. Intelligence. That is... Wait, no, I did my intelligence. Excuse me. Wisdom. 14 plus. Definitely hit 14 plus. So that's another 1. Puts me at 10. And then charisma 14 to 15. I got 15 exactly, which is another 2, putting me at 12. So that is my attribute goals. Class color dice. So that would be... I believe that's what's on my Wanderer? That's... Is that a misprint, or am I just reading that wrong? I know that the points that I just did for my attributes are correct, but let me just double check. Attribute goals, I got that, so that's fine. Class color die. Each die on a player's character sheet that matches the class color is worth 1 reputation star. I forgot about that. Okay, so I get 3 points for having 3 blue dice, which puts me at 15. Alignment card. That's that big guy over here. I'm on the 3 in the middle where I started, so that's another 3. Puts me at 18. Good so far. Backstory card. That's the Wanderer. I have all the colors matching the spots. Purple, blue, white, red, green, black. All 6 gives me another 6, putting me at 24 points. So far, so good. I'm not an NPC. Let's see, what am I technically? Currently, I am a hireling. That's via the backstory card. Armor cards, I have none. Trait cards, just the honorable that I bought for myself, which is 3 more points, so that becomes 27. Let's just base game, you score for all the other stuff, yada yada yada. Ties are broken in the base game. First goal, then fewest number, and then blah 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 blah. Monster combat, I'm just double checking. I don't think I get anything from these guys, but I do get the stars from beating the Kraken thoroughly. Oh, whoops. Well, it's a good thing I did not do the thing. Kraken. After final dice, remove all pairs of sixes. Whoops. So, remove all pairs of sixes would be these two. But that's fine, because it still gives me 10, 20, 28. So maybe not the full Monty. Oh, oof. Well, I still beat him, but I didn't get as many points as I was expecting. Damn you, reading the rules? Okay, that's fine. Because I still have 3, which would put me from 28 to 31. It's still the same amount. That sucks. Yeah, whatever. Examine the monster card's human reputation. Use the tracking token from each class card and the chart on the back. Yeah, okay. So, I just add the monster, which is another 4 stars. Yep. Taking me up to 31. So I almost skipped over the Kraken's ability. After the final dice, after all these are rolled, discard pairs of 6s. So that's what screwed me over there. Wait, hold on a second. 2, 4, 6. Oh, wait, no. So these were also part of my dice. So these 2 would have gone. Haha, hold on. 31 minus 4 would have been 27. Yep. Those would still have been in there because they've only been pairs of 6s. Haha! Again, I'm playing by myself so I can fix my stupid mistakes. So it actually would have been 28, 30, 39. So I still technically scraped out the 8 star, but just barely. So that's actually a 35 total right there. That was from the monster. I did all the other stuff. That's the game, folks. I am, let's look at the book. I'm not an NPC with 23 or less. I'm not a hireling with 24 to 27. I am not an adventurer at 28 to 31. I am a luminary, 32 to 35. So I'm on the cusp of being a clan leader. I was nowhere near true hero, which is 40 to 43. Am I off camera? I'm almost off camera. I gotta fix that. And I got really cocky. I thought I was doing so good. I thought I was gonna hit Monster Slayer. Nowhere close. 44 plus points. Should have bought some armor, I guess. Yeah, wow. So I guess point taken from here is don't focus on beefing yourself up for the monster. Although, actually, I don't know. It's hard to say because if I hadn't beefed myself up, I might have lost against the monster and thus lost the game entirely. So beefing myself up enough to win against the monster was important, but I then kind of screwed myself on some of the extra scoring stuff I could have done at the end of the game. But again, I mean, I'll take it. I think it was a solid victory, all things considered. And there's Fjord, the mighty half-orc warlock. Again, you know, the stats don't exactly match what Travis brings to the table. I don't think anything can really truly match the gravitas that Travis brings to the table. But yeah, so that was fun. Let me switch off the table view here. Boop. Hello, internet. Hello, peoples. Yeah, so that's table for one. Let me just again plug, please subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this or any of the other stuff on the channel. I got reviews, I got plenty of table for ones that are fun, lots of different games out there. So please go ahead and subscribe. I got more reviews coming. I got one that's finished and should be publishing this weekend. I've got another one that's almost done, and I got 3 or 4 more lined up that I'm in the process of filming. So lots of cool, fun, entertaining things to enjoy on the channel if board games are your cup of tea. So subscribe, please. As far as table for one next week, I don't know. I've been kind of missing Marvel Champions. I think that might be what I do. I'm not quite sure yet. There's always Dice Throne Adventures. I don't know. The Dice Throne Online Championship, I think, still kind of not burned me out. I love Dice Throne. It's more, I think I still am enjoying the change of pace. Sea of Legends was a lot of fun to play solo. That one is kind of calling to me. But then the other trade-off is this is my excuse to play games that I don't typically get the opportunity for. So like Dune Imperium, I would love to give a shot. or possibly It's a Wonderful World. I don't know. I don't know. I guess you'll just have to tune in and find out, to be as corny as humanly possible. But anyways, hopefully I will see y'all next Wednesday. Enjoy the stream in the future if you're watching it not live. Hello from the past. And I will talk to y'all later. Thanks for tuning in, and I will now awkwardly bend off screen to stop the stream.